Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about the Antonov. And yes, it is true what has happened, sadly, to the Antonov. You probably read the title and seen the picture. The Antonov AN-225 was sadly destroyed. The reason for this was because of the Antonov is obviously, you can tell by the country's livery and everything like that, is made by Ukraine. You can tell by the flag right here, and you already know what's probably happening down there, which is like pretty bad. Like Russia's invading Ukraine and everything, and just so happened the Antonov was actually in the hangar of its, and it's the Antonov's hangar, because there's only one hangar for the Antonov because it's so large. But yeah, the Antonov was unfortunately destroyed because Russia was, invading one of these airports, and it happened so that the Antonov was actually at that location and, well, destroyed it. Yeah, so after that, this was like probably about what was it, like, at least about a couple weeks ago now. The Antonov history, we're gonna get into that real quick after, the whole thing, what happened to it. The Antonov was definitely was destroyed. It's no longer, there's no way it's gonna be able to be fixed. Like, there's only like one wing left, one, like, half of the what is it, fuselage is wrecked. It's like just burnt down. I'm gonna show you a picture of it right now. But yeah, the Antonov is just wasn't like in a good state. But luckily though, Antonov, watch the company of the airplane. It's called, this plane's model is actually the AN-225, if you haven't already known. But I call it the Antonov because it's like the mighty of planes, especially by Antonov. But anyways, Antonov actually planned to make, or they're not confirmed yet, but they are saying that they want to make another plane, another Antonov AN-225, which I'm surprised, because if it's 6 engines, and that's a lot of fuel. How the 747's retiring because of its 4 engines, which is really dumb, but whatever. I don't think 6 engines is going to be very approved, but who knows, maybe Antonov can avoid it. I mean, it's an excuse, again, with the 747, the reason why it's still flying, because of its cargo, abilities, and this is exactly what this plane is for, the cargo abilities. Although, the history of this plane is actually very interesting. And I was going to get into that right now. The Antonov was actually, the Soviet Union actually wanted to make some rockets, right? And they wanted to save fuel in the rockets, and save fuel for the rockets so they can. So they wanted to make a plane that is big enough to bring it high as as high up as it can, because this is probably the max height, and then the rocket would be launched off, and then the whole thing, it saves fuel. They can, do like a whole mission around the whole Earth, whatever whatever the Soviet Union wanted to do, probably destroy some country or something like that. Anyways, America was just like, it had the same exact idea, just save fuel, and we were kind of smart and just use the 747 that we have. It's like, yeah, you can use that. And then like the Soviet Union was like, well, we should build a big plane, and it's until it can fit a rocket. And it's like, if you say so. I mean, we already developed the space shuttle that we already have, that's just like, it has a delta wing. It kind of looks like the Concorde, but like smaller. So it was like developed just for that. And then you've seen a picture. I'll pop up a picture right now. That's what America's version looked like. And then Soviet Union was like going up to like Antonov, was like, hey, can you build us a plane? And they're like, yeah, sure. They're building it, and then they're like, not good. And they kept on building more Antonovs, and then until they got to the point to this massive beast right here, the Antonov AN-225, which is big. It's like bigger than the 747, which is pretty good comparison, because that's like, I don't know, I think the 747 is like about here to here, and like here to there. Any antenna just beats that. And and it's much taller too. The Antonov is right about here to there, and now it's taller too. So, yeah. But yeah. Anyways, back to the whole history part. So Antonov finally developed the AN-125 and 225, and unfortunately, Russia was like, "Oh, I forgot about that." The rockets are already being launched out. Like, rockets are being developed. They're already launching off into space, and like, oh yeah, we don't need that anymore. And Russia's like, Antonov was like, we just finished the build, and they're like, oh well. So the Antonov was actually sitting there for a very good amount of time, until a company, I think the British were like, hey, we can buy that off of you, and then they did, and after that it was like a cargo plane. It still has like this like livery on it and everything like that, and there was only one hangar, so it was sitting there for about 2 years until the United Kingdom bought it off of them. What happened was they used it as a cargo plane, so it was actually, the whole fuselage has been emptied out, right? And it's, it was like, so you can keep a space shuttle on there, because it wanted to be as light as it can. So they actually just opened up this nose and made a hatchet, just like the 747's opening. I'll pop up a picture what the Antonov looked like when it had cargo. Alright, you saw that? That's crazy, right? Anyways, yeah, the Antonov, was being shipped around, and then it was used a lot for cargo, and it was very successful. But the United States didn't really have the Antonov flyover because, well, we have 747s and everything. The United Kingdom, Europe is a very big, part of, the world. It's now North America and, South are kind of like smaller, but Europe, on the other hand, is kind of big, So, obviously you need bigger aircrafts and, things to cargo. So, obviously the Antonov could probably do a whole world trip over the whole world, but what pilot has enough energy to do that? You know what I mean? So, yeah, the United States never really had the Antonov. I don't think they ever did, but I'm pretty sure at one point they have, like back in the 1960s or something like that. Because, well, no, I think that's when the Antonov was. Yeah, no, probably the 1970s if anything. But I highly doubt the Antonov has actually ever came to the United States. Just knowing that the Soviet Union is kind of like, no. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom bought it off of them. Anyways, it was in Ukraine. It was in its little hangar, and it got destroyed and everything. But yeah, what was it? Yeah. So the history is kind of just like interesting because like Russia was like we launched off rockets already. I don't know what you want to do with this, but it's funny though. They did put a rocket on this once. I don't think it was ever used for a mission. It was just where it's one use, and that's what these two little humps were there for, so I can have a rocket on there. But for some reason, they just kept those little humps on there because they didn't want to just rebuild it. It was an abandoned project for some time until it got rebuilt. So yeah, the Antonov is now sadly destroyed and everything. I think there's another Antonov, but it's not the AN-225. It only has 4 engines, not as exciting. It has 6 engines, so lame. It's not the world's biggest. So yeah, right now I think the only world's biggest is the A380. Or no, the Dreamlifter. My bad. Yes. So the existing world's biggest aircraft is the Dreamlifter of Boeing 747, which is pretty cool, I guess. Congrats, 74 Gear. That's a YouTube channel that was the Dreamlifter. Anyways, moving on now. So now the theories are like, why did Russia destroy the Antonov? Which is a really good question because why did they? Was it unintentional? Did they mean to do it? Was it like because, this? I don't know. Like what's the reason for it? Well, one of my theories are that they probably did not want to have they didn't want to use this aircraft for shipping reasons, probably, that's one of my thoughts, because what if they were thinking what if they're gonna send this over to the United States and put a bunch of like, equipment for them, because that is a good idea, like, to destroy it, because honestly they could use equipment, and then Russia's screwed. I'm just looking at Russia as a point of view, but hopefully Ukraine is all good after this whole thing. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, either that, was it intentional? Was there another reason why they were worried that they were gonna use it for like actually like defense reasons, where they're gonna actually fly this over and start using radars and then catching them and doing these plans and stuff, like, or are they gonna use these like they launch off soldiers and stuff, like, there's a lot of reasons why they could have done it. Either that was unintentional, didn't mean to hit the Antonov, but it looks pretty intentional, because looking at the Antonov, looked pretty destroyed. If it was unintentional, it makes sense if like a wing was just broken and damaged, but it looked pretty intentional. It looks like they threw a couple of missiles at it. Yeah, it was a pretty bad picture from a satellite view. I'm gonna pop a picture from that. Yeah, so very, very bad. Yeah, the Antonov is it's gone. Until then, hopefully sooner than later, the Antonov decides that they want to make a new one. I'm hoping they do, because this airplane's pretty damn cool. I mean, if anything, it'll be cool if they actually can develop this plane again with just 2 engines, or possibly even 4. Because, like, obviously, eventually they're gonna, like, the health code or whatever, the environmental friendly kind of thing is like, oh, well, you can't have 6 engines. What are you doing? You gotta get rid of this plane. It's like, because knowing them. But I mean, who honestly knows? Hopefully they do. I think Russia did this for a very intentional reason, and a very good reason indeed. I just wish it wasn't the Antonov, but hey, I wish it wasn't there. But hey, it's destroyed. It's a very sad news. But there is good news. Nothing to do with the Antonov, but recently we have a add-on just posted out, and it was Microsoft released a Concorde, and it's a very nice one. It recently posted, I think, 2 days ago, and it's really nice looking. I'm just gonna cut out this whole part, and then I'm gonna. Okay, here we are. This is the this is the Concorde, and it's a very nice plane. The only thing I don't like, though, is why is this person here? Like, no, we ain't doing that. Yeah, there's a co-pilot in this plane for some reason, but hey, there's a co-pilot. Yeah, this is really insane. All these switches actually work. Most of them actually. I don't think all of them do, but most of them do. And it's pretty cool. And this is what it looks like in the outside, though. Pretty loud. And my headphones has got that nice delta wing. Yeah, here is the switch. Everything, like all these things work. Nothing on the bottom. Down here, I haven't noticed anything that's worked. A little disappointed in that, but hey. That's the only thing that matters. That switch right there, I think, or that one. This one, yes, it's that one. And the reason why is because that's a turbine switch, and that's if an engine failure ever happens. That thing will come down, and it will actually produce energy. Because obviously your engines have more uses than just pushing air out and having thrust for you to fly. It has generating power too. So if your engine ever has a failure, there won't be no more power. So that's what that turbine is for. So it can actually come down and actually generate power. But it keeps your hydraulics to move left and right. Okay, if that wasn't for the engines, then nothing would move. It's crazy, right? So yeah, you need that. So yeah, let's actually look at these things here. If my mouse wants to actually appear, hold on. No. Hold on. Yeah, this is what it looks like on the outside again. Okay. My mouse is just completely gone. But yeah, most of these switches work. Besides the bottom ones down here, those work. I know that for a fact because one of them is the battery switch. Right there. This mouse, man. Gosh. Hold on. There we go. Alright. Yeah, most of these switches do work though. See, like, yeah, the battery switches. This is the most important switch of all. The battery switch, fuel switches, and all that stuff. APU and all that stuff is obviously in this control panel. Just somewhere, I just don't know where it is. And over there are some control panels up ahead. You know, not as much as over here. There's not as much actually. Like a 737, like a lot of the controls are up there, but you know, it looks very like easy if you just look in front. But once you look behind you, you're like, oh, that's not easy. So yeah, let's get back in the front. You know, the captain seat, which is the left side. Yes, this is actually this. What's cool about this though, it has sonic boom, right, and it has afterburners, and this is the afterburners right here. These guys. Boom, afterburners are on. That's the parking brake. You just release that, like here. Bam, parking brake released. And let's go full throttle. And look at those afterburners in action. That is really cool. And we can look at it at night, which I'm gonna actually show you guys because it's really cool how it looks at night. Let's just go here. Might be a little daytime. Here, that's perfect right there. See, yeah, that's what it looks like at night. That's really cool. Oh yeah, there's also a snoop droop too. We want it actually all the way up to lock up, so we can actually get a full flight. Because right now we're gonna do an overrun because we don't have enough speed for it. Because the snoop droop is up, down. I meant. Anyways, we have taken off, and there we are. Yeah, that's supposed to come up when you take off, but that's fine. And yes, it locks in, landing gear attracting, and we're taking off of Newark from Air France's livery. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but it has, you know, all nighttime. The cabin, there's also a cabin. I just want to fly the plane real quick. I'm gonna land too. Hopefully I can do a good landing. But yeah, that's what the Concorde looks like at night. It's really cool. I'm like a big fan of this plane. Like this is what's like really getting me interested in this flight simulator. You know, just this Concorde flying in New York City. I do a basic flight, like I do like an Orlando to Tampa trip, or Tampa to Orlando trip, which is really nice. But yeah, right now flying over New York City. That is the World Trade Center right there. Pretty nice looking at night. And some more lighting, you know. Yeah, I got a scenery, so like New York City looks a little bit better now at night. So it looks pretty good. I'm a fan. It's funny because I can hardly hear myself when I'm saying right now because how loud this jet engine is. And yes, they're actually yelling at me for transmissions. I don't know why I have the ATC on. Yes, frequency change approved. Oh. I know you guys can't hear this, but right now there's a sonic boom. There's also a Mach count inside the cockpit. And it's right here. That's Mach. We're going 1 Mach right now, which is 651 knots. Alright, here it is. And one more time. Because right now we're going faster than the speed of sound. It's nice because it's nice and quiet now. Alright, let's come in for a landing. We're going to go past John F. Kennedy, come in for a turnaround, and then we're going to land. John F. Kennedy's airport is a very, very big airport because, you know, it has a lot of runways, you know, going left and right, you know, it's a bunch. Yeah, so. Especially New York. A lot of New York airports, for some reason, just they're massive, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, but why do you have to have 2 airports like close to each other? You know, and there's also LaGuardia. Like, and actually, I understand now actually because there's lots of traffic in New York. You know, obviously you got a bit more airports than just 1 or 2 in one space. You know, especially we're going right now faster than the speed of sound, so this looks like it's so close together, but it's not really. It's far, especially for our drive. So we're gonna slow down the aircraft now. we just went. Oh, now we're just at 500 knots, and the Mach is much farther away. I'm doing this very sharp turn right now just because I need to. Because I need to. The one problem though I found about this is it's old-fashioned, right? So there's no problem with it, you know. It's an old-school aircraft, you know. One problem about the Concorde is there's no map, right? That's how it was back in the day. You didn't really have any maps, no Garmin technology. It was just, you know, you had to know where you're going, which is actually really cool to think about. Scary too. I mean, imagine flying to one destination and not knowing where you're going. It's like you're not knowing where you're going, and like you try to check the maps, and it's like there's no map. It's kind of crazy to think about, which is why a lot of modern planes are have that now. Yes, the logo lights are actually on the Delta Wing. I actually had no clue about, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is like one of my first times to think flying at night, besides when I was flying to Orlando. I just wasn't fully checking out the whole system. I wasn't really sure what to do. I was kind of just flying, and I just turned it on for night, for at least 30 seconds, and turn back to day because I wanted to see what I was doing. I'm gonna put down the landing gear. I'm gonna put down the Snoop droop. The Snoop will droop. Actually, we're just gonna put it. And right now we're getting yelled at for landing gear not being down, but it's down now. It's a very interesting noise. Then people yell, then instead of a GPUS slot saying landing gear, which a lot of planes do that, especially in Cessnas when they have landing gear, retractable landing gear. All right, well the Snoop Droop is down, and we can come in for a very nice landing. We're gonna turn off the afterburners. I should have done that much earlier. Oh, we're coming for a very high landing. I'm going to do a nosedive. This is going to be a very scary landing for sure. Alright, here we are. This is very off. Oh yeah, we're low. And there's no GPS call-out sights in the Concorde. It's just a bunch of beeping noises yelling at you to make sure, to act like you know what you're doing. Like, oh yeah, do you know this? Yes, this is 50. Alright, landing. 3, 2. Come on, we don't have all day. There we go. Okay, not bad of a landing. I should have used my playback to check my landing, but it's fine, whatever. Using the brakes, we're gonna overrun. Oh, no, that was stupid of me. I should have just called it. Holy! Okay, here comes a Concorde crash. Oh boy. My bad. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, sorry about that one. Yeah, I came in for a little too much of a smooth landing. Too smooth for the Concorde. My bad. Well, yeah, that's the Concorde's add-on. It's highly suggested if you do have Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, it has a Snoop Droop. Let's look at the animation as right now it's crashed. It moves up, right? Moves up and down. So, it has all like the settings how the Snoop Droop should look on the Concorde. And in this final mode, when you should be taking off, and fast is right there when it has the glass that protects you from it breaking when you're going like a Mach or like the speed of sound, which is crazy. And I don't know what this mode is technically for when it goes, then that glass goes down. I think I get the feeling it might be for like taxiing, or like when you're like pulling up to the runway, like you're just getting ready and you just kind of like, you don't want to wait till the whole Snoop Troop is like retracting up and you gotta wait and everyone's like waiting for you to just have this thing going up and like, come on, we gotta move, let's go. So I think that mode is just there for that, and it can just quickly pull it up because that's really So I think that would be the reason. I don't technically know, but yeah, that's the Concorde add-on. It's really nice. Do highly suggest it if you do have Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Goodbye. Oh yeah, and actually before I leave, sorry if you heard the fan on the AN-225 part. I realized how my fan spinning at the max speed it can go. And I was like, oh shoot, the audio is probably going to sound bad. But if you do hear it, my apologies, and hopefully you want to drown out with my voice and audio, music. Yeah, yeah, and sorry for not posting. I think it's been like 4 weeks now, hasn't it? So yeah, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, see you in the next video. Goodbye.